Hello everybody, it's CJ Fox. Welcome back to another video. And today, this is going to be a very special locomotive. This particular engine is known as GG1 number 4800, as you can see here. And this particular model, as you read in the title, is made by IHC, which is a now defunct company, I believe. I think they were like a part of like AHM and maybe Mahano or something like that. Either one of those Eastern European model manufacturers. This particular model, this is this was probably one of their later runs, as this does have the dual motor design, which there's an electric motor on each end, and each motor powers each these these 3-axle trucks. So it's technically all-wheel, so it is all-wheel drive, and that just increases the power output by tenfold. Because the older AHM models only had one truck that was powered, and I saw one of those at the Model Railroad Club that I am a part of. So let's take a closer look at this model made by IHC. As we zoom in here, you can see the iconic five pinstripes all along the side of the body of the locomotive. You got the 2 doors molded in, and these are molded on grab irons. You can see the gosh, what is this called? The phonograph is currently in its compressed state. I'll show in a little bit that it can in fact go up. Oh, sorry, I bumped the camera. Yeah, as you can see, you can see the Pennsylvania 4800 badge right below the headlight. Turn it around, you can see these marker lights, and it says 4800 again on the side right there. And just like the so-called fireman's side, the engineer's side is pretty much identical. And you know, this side pretty much popped up on its own. So yeah, as you can see, these do have the ability to pop up and also lock in place. And now I'll show you the inner mechanism. I mentioned that this was a dual motor. So if I grab at the sides of the shell and lift up, if it doesn't decide to be difficult on camera, which always happens that way. Oh, come on. It's really tricky. You gotta get your nails under there. There we go. See this wire right here? These wires oddly go to the phonographs for some reason, even though I don't think these pick up any current that I know of. But you can see underneath, it's fairly modern. It has 2 twin can motors, and each motor does have its own brass flywheel, which gives it nice momentum and nice smooth performance, and a nice heavy counterweight in the middle. And from what I read, this model is possible to convert to DCC, but I would rather not attempt to do that, because I don't trust myself quite yet to do that. Oh, another feature that this model does sport is it does have directional headlights, which, like I've explained before in a few other model turn review videos, that one light turns on when you go one direction and the other turns on when you go backwards. So let me put the shell back on, and I can tell you a little bit of the history of this particular engine. Alright, now that it's back together, I can explain this particular engine's history and whatnot. And number 4800's career, it was built by General Electric back in 1934, and it outperformed the R1 class to become the first of the class of 139 GG1s. And number 4800 here is the only one that was riveted together. All the other ones were cast. And over the course of its career, it has made quite a few speed records. And for instance, it made a speed record from out of Washington D.C. As on a stretch of railroad at about 102 miles an hour, which for an electric locomotive, that's pretty darn fast. However, during a braking session back in 1935, a year after it was built, it managed to attain a top speed of around 128 miles an hour. That's faster than the steam record of 126 miles an hour set by the British A4 class Mallard. So yeah, that's a little bit of the history of this engine. And I apologize if I have any goofs, and if you have any other facts about this engine, feel free to say it in the comments down below. So let's take this over to the layout and see how well this dual motor design performs. Alright, I got the locomotive all set up on the track. Now let's give her a whirl, see how she performs. Alright, this should be backwards, alright. Well, not that it matters. Alright. It's kind of hard to see, but the light does work on this model. So it goes forward pretty darn well. Let's see how well it goes nice and slow. It thanks to have these, I believe these have 5-pole motors. So she's able to just crawl nice and easy. So the performance checks out. Nice and smooth, plenty of power. So let's hook up to some Pennsylvania passenger cars and see how she goes. Looks like the last car is on. It's oh, there we go. Oh, ah, crap. Apologies about the mishap. Let's have it go again. So yeah, the power delivery of this locomotive is absolutely fantastic. It has enough weight to provide enough traction to pull all these coaches, all these 5 Athearn coaches with ease. And I've tested at the Model Railroad club layout that this thing can handle at least 17 or 18 freight cars. Standard size freight cars, up a 3% grade. So that's very impressive for a model locomotive. And a couple of my friends said this thing's an absolute tank of a model locomotive. So I can happily say this model performs fantastic. And if you can find one of these, specifically in the purple IHC box, the purple IHC box, it would be a definitely a worthy buy, and it would be a treat to upgrade these to DCC, which hopefully someday I will be able to do so with mine. So enjoy some of these shots of my GG1 going around my layout. I want to thank all of you for watching this wonderful video, and if you have any other comments or information about this locomotive that you'd like to contribute, feel free to leave it in the comments below. Thank you. Bye bye.